examples of an umpire adjusting to a poorly thrown ball. In the first example, the umpire took a complete read step, and in the second example, the umpire simply moved his head. In this next section, we're going to focus on something that comes up a few times a season. Often, there are pop-ups between home plate and first base. In the next two examples, the ball is going to be popped up away from the foul line and near the dugout area. You will notice in both of these examples that the fielder catching the ball is closer to the base umpire. But we need to remember in these types of situations, both the home plate umpire and the base umpire should be closing in on these catches. The decision maker on the catch-no catch should always be the umpire the fielder is facing when he catches the ball. Both of these examples demonstrate that the home plate umpire should be the umpire responsible for the catch-no catch. A three-man mechanics question that I get asked a lot is regarding when to rotate on a first to third rotation when a ground ball in the infield gets away from the infielder. Everyone knows that with a runner on first base only and a ground ball in the infield that is fielded cleanly, the home plate umpire should come up the first baseline. Occasionally, a routine ball in the infield gets booted or is thrown wild while trying to retire the lead runner at second base when turning a double play. The example you will see shows the initial throw getting away from the fielder. In this situation, the ball was still first fielded by an infielder, and I think the umpires did a great job of not rotating in this situation. In this situation, the first base umpire will stay at first, and the third base umpire will assume responsibility of any play at second or third base. The home plate umpire will work back to home plate for any possible play at the plate. Last season, one of our points of emphasis was the angle that we take when going out on fly balls. I think there was a lot of improvement in this area throughout last season. The challenge that was issued last year was not to round off our angles when going out on fly balls. You will see in this video an example of rounding off our angles when going out on fly balls. Let's try to remember that pausing an extra second and taking a good initial angle on the fly ball is always best. As mentioned earlier, getting set is crucial for any umpire to get plays correct. The same principle is true for fly balls. Our CCA Mechanics Manual allows for an umpire to not get set when the ball is going to be caught above the waist. Let's remember that when the ball is going to be first touched below the waist, that we need to stop and get our eyes set before the fielder attempts to catch the ball. In this next section, we're going to be talking about a first base umpire in the three-man system that will be positioned inside with a runner on either second or second and third base. When the first base umpire is in the deep B position and there is a ground ball in the infield followed by a throw to first base, the umpire must try to get himself in the best possible position to see the play at first base and also be positioned for a possible secondary throw back into second base. The first base umpire has several things to do on this play. The first base umpire cannot get too close to first base if the runner on second doesn't go to third due to the possible throwback into second base. Additionally, the first base umpire must also try to stay out of the throwing lane when the ball is being thrown to first base. Lastly, the umpire must also get into position to render a decision on a possible swipe tag or pulled foot at first base as well. When these type of plays occur, many of our officials have been taking these plays inside the diamond on the grass. Though there is nothing wrong with doing this, I'd like to suggest some different positioning for these type of plays that many believe could put the umpire in a better position to see a pulled foot and a swipe tag when starting from the deep B position inside the diamond. The first thing to address when taking plays inside the diamond is the fact that if the throw is originating from the left side of the infield or out in front of home plate area, the first baseman will be stretching towards this location. Due to this, taking plays inside the diamond on the grass will force us to take a vast majority of plays while looking through the fielder and not actually being able to see the fielder's foot on the bag. In the video clips that you are now watching, you will see that when the ball is hit to the left side of the infield, these umpires have decided to take these plays out in the dirt area between first and second base. You will notice that the fielder is stretching towards the origin of the throw. The umpire, being out in the dirt area, is able to establish an angle to see whether the fielder's foot is on the bag when he makes the catch. Additionally, these umpires do not cross over or get into the throwing lane between the fielder's throwing and receiving the ball at first base. It is important for the umpire to judge how close he can get to this play based on whether or not there may be a throwback into second base. It is also important to note that in this respect, his distance towards first is no different from the other umpires that took the play from the grass area of the infield. Lastly, while working first base and starting from the foul line, when there are swipe tags at first base, the first base umpire generally steps to his left towards the foul line to judge whether there is a tag or not. Taking plays out in the dirt between first and second base actually puts the umpire closer to the foul line for a potential swipe tag. This concludes our presentation on mechanics. I'd like to thank you for your participation.